Hello, so this is going to be an interesting pick a card. This pick a card is we are asking what is your person's triggers. So I know that lots of times if we are in a soul connection, of course, any relationship is going to mirror back to you things that you need to heal. But especially if you are in some type of soul connected relationship with some type of soul contract. Um, I know that for myself, it seems like lately I have been getting triggered a lot. And I know it's got to be stressful, not really stressful. I wouldn't say it's stressful for Timmy. I would say probably annoying when I get triggered because I can act like a little titty baby. um, but in all honesty, he is so great. He's like very patient and just kind of, just like bears through it. But also, he's extremely honest and sometimes bluntly so, which is one of the things I love about him. Um, but the thing is, it's like I never see where he gets triggered. So I thought, possibly there's a lot of people here that go through that as well. They don't have no idea what the person it gets triggered by. And I know for me, I think that would be interesting, and to know what your other person is healing and what they're, what's coming up to the surface to be healed. Of course, to me, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of think I have him at such a high pedestal that I really think that he is like ascended like way past me. I don't know. He's just too calm and too patient. And but anyways, let's look and see about your person. Okay, so there's three piles here. Pile one is with the lava stone skull. Pile two is with this quartz. I don't know what kind it is. My mother found it and brought it to me. And pile three is with I think it's called Lemuria. Lemuria, I think. If you know, you can comment. That's cool. So you can pick your pile and look down in the description for the timestamp, and I will meet you there if you need any information about me, how to contact me, how to get a personal reading, how to get some of my cards, because some of my cards are in this reading. Let me go ahead, speaking of cards, show you what cards I'm using today. I am using my deck, of course, the Divine Feminine Embrace Your Vessel deck that is in my shop space. And then I am also using the Muse Tarot. Dark Night of the Soul Tarot, created by Angela with Mystic Moon. And I'm using these. Let me get one out. The Queen Bee Affirmations deck that's in my shop space as well. That's what they look like. I don't have a box code for those. They just come shrink wrapped. That just saves, it just saves with money. And then also the Gilded Reverie. So those are the decks. Let me meet you at your timestamp. Okay. Those of you who chose pile option number one with the black lava stone skull. Let's look and see at what triggers your person. So we have Inspiring. I love this card because it demonstrates that, I think my whole Divine Feminine deck just inspires women to be themselves. And then we have the number 20 for Public, and number 44 for the Magnifying Glass. So, see how I want to lay this out. Okay. So, Of course, this talks about how you, the viewer, you are very inspiring to others. We have the magnifying glass, which tells me those that resonate with this pile, you're probably someone who is in the public eye, because we do have public here. So you may have, your person, you may use inspirational quotes, mantras, affirmations on your social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You may even have a YouTube channel of your own, but you use your social media platform to help inspire other people, motivate them to become the best, their highest self. And somehow or another, this triggers your person. But we're going to take a closer look, okay? Why is the fact that you're inspiring other people, or maybe it's because you inspire them to do even better than what they do. But let's take a deeper look and see why that is. So we have Temperance, 2 of Inspiration. Of course, there's that. Look, there's a telescope, which again signifies that kind of spying going on. Queen of Voices. So these cards here let me know that they're telling me pretty much, what triggers them. With the Temperance card, is like in this deck, she weaves purpose and harmony, into the lives of others. So it's probably what you do, again, as we saw earlier. And, your greatest gift possibly is healing, and someone who walks the middle path of, by turning life lessons into spiritual growth. And then after you turn your life lessons into spiritual growth, you help teach others and remind others to turn despair into, gifts of patience. Then we have, I love this card because, here she is. Somebody's watching you. So, but the 2 of Inspiration, it talks about, you're someone who easily moves past your comfort zone. You may take a small hesitation, but you don't really take one. It's like you're going to peep out and then you're just going to go for it. And, and in turn, you use that to motivate and activate manifestation and potential in others. You're probably someone who's dedicated and, well, not dedicated, but, possibly it's like what I'm sensing is you have a destiny, to have this extraordinary life that is going to become very popular. You're going to, it's just, I don't want to say like, but, well, it's kind of like a star magnetism to where other people eventually, it's like they know your name because of the healing and the help and the guidance that you do. So you have a following. And then we have Queen of Voices. So Queen of Voices lets me know that definitely, this is like the Queen of Swords. So you definitely have a connection to Source. You receive downloads, information, from Source, from Spirit, from your higher self. You're possibly, many of you may resonate as a psychic medium that receives messages and downloads. And then through your warmth and your compassion and your generosity, you encourage others to listen too. But you do this through teaching others how to access the vibrational tone inside themselves. So you speak truth and clarity and understanding to others on how to download and how to receive their own downloads. And then let's look and see why this triggers your person. So we have 4 of Materials, 9 of Voices, Knight of Voices, and Queen of Materials. Oh, wow, you got 2 Queen cards here. You are definitely divinely guided and protected. I'm hearing that right off the bat. So, let's see here. The person that you're thinking of, this person, you know, we have 4 materials. That's kind of like the 4 of Pentacles. So they kind of keep their heartstrings to themselves. They don't express, they're not comfortable in their own emotions. Okay. And they're not good at expressing their fears, you know, their emotions, you know, anything. They kind of keep everything to themselves. This person, it's like they have this fortress. Their guard is up so tight. And it's caused by a mentality of lack, you know, not being good enough. Feeling that, you know, they don't have anything to offer you, yet they covet you, you know. And quite often, lots of times, people with this mentality were possibly raised, especially if they're not comfortable expressing themselves. That's kind of outside the box. And you kind of trigger them because you guide people into stepping out of their comfort zone, and they're not wanting to. It's like, you know, you're pushing and they're pulling away. It's just like, it's like trying to get that thread through the needle, right? And it's just like, oh, the harder you try to help them, the more they resist, because they're just not comfortable. And it's like they have problems stepping out of their comfort zone, you know. And then, you know, the 9 of Voices, you know, that's like this constant worry, this constant fear, anxiety. Having to face their fears is not easy for them. Yeah, it's just, they have a fear of being used. And, you know, this is, it's like they can't quiet their mind. It's like constantly their anxiety, you know, is like this fear they have for the future of your connection, you know, fear of abandonment, a rejection, again, not being good enough, and maybe possibly you realizing that. We have the Knight of Voices too. You know, this is like, because this is Voices is Swords energy. And Knight of Voices, it comes in, the Knight of Swords comes in very quickly. Also, when I'm sensing, because Swords has to do with logic and ego. So what I'm getting is that this person's ego, you know, probably tells them that this connection is impossible. Is, you know, they don't know how it's going to work out logically. You know, the odds, there's too many odds and obstacles, mountains to overcome. And, you know, so it's like his ego comes in real quick. Anytime that he starts to step out of his comfort zone, logic kind of takes over. And, you know, logic kind of just, you know, it's like they avoid risk because they can't compute the calculation of how it's going to work out. And so they just kind of get stubborn and just kind of sit there and not move. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So that's like the Queen, of course, the Queen of Materials is like the Queen of Pentacles. I think I called it the Queen of Pentacles. And that here you are, it's like you offer this unconditional love, which they can't compute, right? Because they don't know how to express it themselves. They're not comfortable in emotions. They're not comfortable. They may feel them deeply, but they don't know how to release it outside of themselves. And because they have problems loving themselves. And so here you are, you know, offering this unconditional love that to them just kind of seems too good to be true. And your person really needs to learn self-love and self-acceptance. And also how to be accountable for their own feelings, actions, and truth. So how does this triggering manifest, so to speak? So we have number 11, Justice, corruption. Ace of Torment, smoke and mirrors. 10 of Torment, final cut. Okay. So, I'm sensing like for a lot of you, they have self-limiting beliefs. They have these self-imposed entrapments. They feel like the blockade is just too great. Like there's this wall, this guard, this fortress that they can't get past, but what they don't realize is they put that gate there. They're the one that did it. It's kind of because what I'm seeing in my head, and this card is reminding me that, especially the image of the Eight of Swords, where they're trapped in the swords with a blindfold on, and it represents not seeing past their own prison, not seeing past the walls that that surround them, and realizing that that is a self-imposed limiting belief, that they can in fact get past this, but they're so busy looking at their physical situation, they're not paying attention to the fact that they can get moved past this. Also, it brings up things, memories in the past where they've been done unjustly, where possibly they themselves have had corruptive or bad karma, or behaved in an ill manner, made wrong choices. And they're like, oh, no, I can't be myself with this person, is what I'm picking up. They're feeling they can't be themselves with this person, that, you might harshly judge them or decide that, you can't do it. Also, with this being the number 11, which to me represents union, they, again, can't see. This brings up this fear of, oh, it's never going to happen, when they don't realize you already love them unconditionally. It's already happening. They're just not seeing it. We have the Ace of Torment, smoke and mirrors. And it's a real strong sense of looking in from the outside. This is what that vision brings up to me. Feeling like they're kind of, it's like feeling like they're looking in, and that they don't really fit, and they don't know how they're going to fit, and they don't know how to escape the prison, the mirror. And then also what they show to you is they only show you what they want to show you, right? They don't let you completely in their gates. They don't let you in their little box. They don't feel comfortable, again, sharing and expressing how they feel or what they're thinking, or their true authentic self. And it's like a real strong sense of, if you're trying to communicate and they don't want to communicate whatever your topic is, they're just not going to. They're not going to get involved. They're not going to, it's going to be a little one-sided. And so they have this fear of their true self not being accepted, and not being able to express their clear, true intentions and their true path and who they really are. Again, it's that feeling of not being fully accepted for who they are. And then 10 of Torment, the final cut, this fear of being cut out of your life, of just kind of, and I get the strong sense that their fear is generated because they have this, it's like this strong feeling of, well, if they lose one more person, they're not going to be able to handle it. They will not be able to handle it. But also, what I'm hearing is, because this is the 10, these fears that's being repeatedly triggered. And remember, triggers come up repeatedly because it's like an onion peel. You'll get to it and you'll heal it a section, and then, like a spiral, it comes back around and gets triggered again, which brings up that sensation of, why the hell do I keep going through the same crap? So that's kind of what they're going to, but they're at the end of the onion peel. Okay. They're at the end of that cycle. They're at the end of this learning lesson, and they are healing this karma, and it's going to be cleared out very relatively soon, possibly during this time, because we are at this time that I'm recording this. This is August 9th. So yesterday was the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. And so during this time, they're going to be shifting. I really strongly feel that this person, those that resonate with this, your person is going to be completely shifting out and healing this. And this is a lot to do with solar plexus chakra. So I really feel like their solar plexus is now going to be unblocked and start, properly functioning. And they're going to have a lot more self-confidence. So now let's look and see, after they heal this, what kind of difference are you going to see? So we have, I am never alone, and I am included. So where they before felt like they wouldn't be accepted for who they really are, they're going to gain the confidence to know that they are loved exactly for who they are, for their light aspects, for their dark aspects, for the whole in general, and that they are included in their soul tribe, their soul family. They are included with you. You accept them and love them for who they are, and you're not going to abandon them. So I hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get moved on to those that picked pile option 2. Hello, those of you that chose pile option number 2 with this crystal. Let's take a look and see what triggers your person. So first we have woke. We have the number 25, the ring. Interesting. Number 18, to me, the dog is loyalty, companionship. And the number 22, this to me represents options, choices that you have to make. So, your person, and quite possibly you yourself, is going through an awakening. And during this awakening, maybe your souls resonated with each other. You woke up to this divine connection. And either you or both of you are already in a committed relationship and have this companionship already. But the way I'm seeing it and picking it up is, of course, you have the 2 options, these 2 doors. You have the one you're already committed to, okay, in the 3D physical realm, such as a long-lasting relationship or a marriage of some sort. And then you have this other option, which is this complete, total companion who, wants this loyalty and this love and playfulness. And, here they are giving you this leash, to help guide them into their awakening. They see you as a guide, but also, for some of you, there's this, you resonate as twin flames, high-level soulmates, in a romantic sense. Of course, that's, again, what the ring is telling me. And both of you, y'all have choices to make. Let's see. We have the 3 of materials, 7 of inspiration, and the death card. So let's look at these to see what exactly, is, what's being triggered. So we have the 3 of materials, which talks about, almost like the 3 of pentacles, which again brings about that feeling that those that are going to resonate with this pile, you're already in some type of commitment, either you or your person. There's a commitment there. You know, you may already be in a relationship, a commitment, or have other obligations. You may also have connected with your soul tribe already. Through teamwork, you know, it's like y'all form this sacred flow of intention, energy, love, and ideas. You just kind of flow. And then we have the, you know, the Seven of Inspiration. You know, you know, this tells me that, you know, even though you walk your authentic path and truth, you know, it's telling me you've moved past the need for validation from others, from outside sources, external to your own inner being. You quite possibly resonate as an empath, because it's like you're feeling and transmuting other people's emotions, their fears. Possibly you get negative attacks yourself, negative, like this, like negative spiritual attacks, negative energy attacks, and it, you know, you feel other people's attachments. But the thing about it, you transmute all this external negativity and darkness, you know, into this spark of light and love. You know, see, she's got her arms out, and all this negative energy is like folding in on her, but yet she's transmuting it into light, okay? Breaking it away and changing the form from negative vibration to higher frequency vibrational, okay? And then we, of course, have the Death card. So death, you know, of course, is a transformation. You know, you yourself have, you know, and possibly through connection with your soul tribe, you've possibly, you know, been triggered into this awakening and this transformation. And you also quite possibly have a gift of transformation, the ability to succeed, grow, and overcome, you know, from those doors that's been closed off to you. You probably have had a lot of doors closed in your face, you know, a lot of changes in your life. This is manifested through, you know, you building yourself up and being knocked back down, and then you have to rebuild yourself up and be knocked back down. And is those that resonate with the gift of transformation experience a lot of changes in their life. You know, maybe you've moved around a lot, maybe you've had to switch different jobs, or went to different positions, but it's this cycle of constant change and the ability to adapt very well. You may have grew up in a military life, maybe a military brat, right? So also it's like, and because you understand that when one door closes, another one opens, and not only when that previous door closes, the new one that opens is something better, a better opportunity, a better chance, something more fulfilling. That new door opens up, and you freely transform any kind of chaos into harmony and beauty. You know, you adapt very well. Now let's see, you know, why this triggers your person. So we have the Six of Materials, the Priestess, and Seven of Emotions. Okay, wow. So I like this card, the Six of Materials. You know, of course, it's and then the regular tarot, it is the Six of Pentacles, which has to do with, you know, generosity, balance, equal give and take. I love how in this card it kind of looks like a, you know, a mirror of the same person. So again, there might be that resignation as a twin flame. Again, but, you know, again, I have to remind you that all relationships are mirrors of ourselves and things that we need to heal. But your person, as your mirror, sees the need for balance. an equal give and take. They recognize this. It's triggering that need inside of them. You know, quite possibly your person, possibly you give more in this connection than your person does, and they're recognizing that, and it's triggering them. Okay, your person has to learn that needing to receive and needing to gift are not all that different. You know, it's still that balance and harmony of give and take. You know, and we have the high priestess, the priestess. You know, quite possibly they're being triggered to, you know, start listening into their intuition and to go within. Maybe they're getting lucid dreams, visions, instincts, astral traveling. All this stuff is happening. I'm just getting a sense of quite possibly feeling a little disconnected or connected, whatever you say it. Sometimes when you're going through an awakening, there's times you feel disconnected, like you're looking from outside the box and you're being shown things that you never realized before. But then there's also, this is why I'm saying, you know, disconnect and connect, because then there's also this realization that all things are connected. Okay, that we are all part of the one. And it kind of, sometimes when you got this double connect disconnect thing going on, it kind of makes you feel all crazy and shit, like what the hell is wrong with me? And it's like, you know, this person, you know, they're learning wisdom from spirit, from source. You know, and they're probably not revealing this to you, because of course the priestess, she is known for keeping her secrets. And of course she's got the shroud on, so she's shrouding that. She is keeping things hidden. And quite possibly they have a fear of you being able to see through them, to the depths of them. And like, oh my God, they're gonna look at me and just say straight through to my soul and know all my you know, things that's not perfect about me. And then we have the Seven of Emotions, which is like the Seven of Cups. So I love this because she's looking like down here at all these fish. And so your person may see you as someone that has many options, or maybe they think that you do, and it triggers them that you may have options. You may have, there may be other fish, you know, there's plenty of other fish in the sea, right? And what if you find someone that is more glamorous than them, more appealing than them? You know, maybe they got more abundance than them. There's so many opportunities, and it's like this fear of someone else coming along and that you maybe won't pick them. You know, it also, whether you have many options or not, we have to remember the Seven of Emotions, Seven of Cups, has to do with illusions. So it's like this is triggering this illusion for them that you have many options, that you have other romantic interests other than themselves. Okay? So, you know, quite possibly, you know, they've just convinced themselves this. So let's look and see how their trigger manifests, okay? So we have the Full Journey of Darkness, the Magician, the Trickster, 21 World, Unfinished Business, and the Hanged Man, Sacrificial Lamb. Okay. So, the way this manifests is, first of all, they can't see, it's like they don't have this faith. They don't have this faith that, being able to just be able to take that leap, because all they see is, they can't see past their fear. They can't, you know, it's like they're second guessing everything and trying to figure out, it's like they have to know everything. and they're not seeing where it's going to lead. So they're not willing to take that leap of faith. It's like standing on the edge and peering down into blackness and too terrified to jump, because what if you fall to your death, right? What if this is the end for you? It's this fear of this is not the beginning of a journey, but you're jumping to your death. And then we have the magician, the trickster, which is, he's a smooth talker. The magician is usually someone who's a master manifester, but with this, I'm seeing someone who is like a manipulator. And you may, I think a lot of them fear that, or a lot of these, it triggers as a narcissistic tendency. When they're triggered, they have a narcissistic type of characteristics that come to the surface. And the magician manifests things into his reality. So another thing, because it is next to unfinished business, the world, they have this fear that they're not going to be able to manifest the desire in your connection, and instead they're going to be left again with unfinished business, like this feeling like there's no closure, that you're just going to walk off and leave them. There's not going to be any closure at all. We have a sacrificial lamb, and it's just going to be the end of them. Like, you was the next step. They were just the next step in your ascension, and they're again it's going to lead to their death. And this strong sense of not actually being able to have growth, not being, like this fear that you're going to ascend to higher levels spiritually, and when you do so, you just kind of leave them where they're at, because they fear they're not going to be able to gain an understanding of new perspectives. Even though they see the contrast between the connected and disconnected, they have this fear that they're stuck in the disconnected, and they're not going to be able to resonate with you at your higher vibration. So they have that fear of not being able to develop. But when they shift out of this, when they heal all of this, let's look and see how that's going to look for your person once they do shift past these fears and heal them. So we have, I communicate effectively. So this lets me know with the color, with the words, that their throat chakra will become unblocked, and they'll be able to communicate their truth and their authenticity, and they'll be able to do it effectively, efficiently, and be able to communicate in all forms. And then we have, I have faith. Now, how beautiful is this? Because previously they didn't have faith, but when this heals, they will have faith. They'll have faith in source, in the divine. They'll have faith in you. They'll have faith, most importantly, they'll have faith in themselves. So I hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get moved on to those that picked pile option number 3. Hello, those of you that chose pile option number 3 with this beautiful stone here. I love that light blue color. It's just so pretty. So, let's take a look and see what triggers your person and how that manifests. So, first we have work your magic. The number 15, polar bear. The number 31, sun. Number 12, owls. Okay. So let's see here. So you may be someone who is very magical yourself. You may be into alchemy, quantum physics. You may consider yourself a witch. You may be someone who is into ascension and spiritual growth, spirituality, because you do work your magic. You quite possibly may be someone who gives other people advice using divinational means, such as tarot cards, runes, scrying, however that may be. And you quite possibly have to cleanse your energy quite a bit. But we have polar bear here, which tells me that you are very strong, very resilient. You have very strong moral ethics and just this complete inner strength about you. No matter what tries to knock you down, you get right back up. You're also a very strong personality and guidance for other people. We have the sun, which also lets me know that you resonate a very high frequency, a high vibration, and you help others to, number one, manifest. Number two, grow. You probably are a great teacher. We have the owls here. So you have this inner wisdom, this wisdom from your ancestors, and wisdom from other sentient beings. And you give that wisdom out. You teach that wisdom. And because the owls is traditionally one of the bird cards, it's considered a bird's card in the Gilded Revelry deck, you quite possibly may resonate as having some type of bird as a spirit guide for yourself, whether it may be an owl, a raven, or a red bird, or a blue bird, or however you resonate. Okay. And then let's see what exactly triggers your person. So we have the Chariot. Quite possibly those that resonate with this card, you may and it's funny, what I'm picking up is you may resonate as someone with Cancer in your chart, whether that's your sun, moon, rising, or possibly even in your Venus. And then your person or yourself, you yourself may resonate as a Leo or have that in your chart. For example, my sun sign is Cancer, my Venus is in Leo. It may be something similar to that. Then we have 6 of Inspiration and 5 of Materials. So let's look at this. First of all, the Chariot has to do with forward motion, forward movement. But this also tells me that you're someone, you have a strong willpower. You have a determination to set plans and to follow those plans out into fruition. You know, these things that you have, these ideas and innovations that you have that's been inspired in your heart. And it's like you're powered by Source to complete these plans, to follow them through. And not only that, not only are you powered by Source Vortex, but you then translate downloads to other people to help them possibly get back on track. You may do guided meditations, things like that. Your wheel is your magic to helping others ascend. So you do this through your wheel. You know, you take in this light and then you transmute it to the masses. You help lead them to their ascension and through their ascension. We have 6 of Inspiration. I love this way. She's got that star, you know, up here above her head. You know, 6 of Inspiration. You know, you're possibly someone who's in the spotlight. I know if you resonate with this pile, you may also resonate with pile 1 as well, because that person, it seemed like they was in the spotlight, and that spotlight triggered their person. So you yourself, you may have a YouTube channel, some type of social platform where you help guide other people. So you're used to being in the spotlight, being seen and recognized by others. Other people appreciate and value your guidance, and you illuminate others' journeys for them when they themselves can't see their own light or their own way on this journey. So we have 5 of materials. The 5 of materials tells me that you do all this and you make it look effortless, even though you yourself, you've suffered great loneliness. See how she's just laying there? I get this strong sense of people depleting you of your energy, of your time, and you've suffered great loneliness. It's like you've been tattered and torn and been through so many hardships. You've felt left out, and you've cried yourself to sleep so many times due to not being appreciated, and for being taken advantage of, and yet you still have that spark, that light inside of you for others, to the point, sometimes you expand your light to others to the point of actually being completely drained and exhausted. You go through episodes of exhaustions because you empty yourself out for other people. And your person sees this, all of this about you, and it triggers them. So, why does this trigger them? So we have the Fool, the Moon. Now, isn't that a beautiful moon card? I love that huge pink moon. Those that know me know I love moons, and pink is my favorite color. So there's that. We have Page of Materials and Awakening. See, truth shall be revealed. I think you're someone who, that's funny, that just came to my head. You may be someone who's a whistleblower. You like to seek truth and then blast it to the masses, right? So with the Fool card, so this is like, your person, they're trying to figure out what he or she wants, but yet they're feeling unprepared, unsure of themselves, and a little bit foolish. I think your person may be someone who doesn't really have much faith. They fear faith, and they fear taking that leap into the unknown to the point of being paralyzed right there on the edge. We have the Moon. So the Moon, lots of times it has to do with things not being revealed. So again, that brings up the fear of the unknown. Having to trust intuition instead of logic, and that's very uncomfortable for your person. And they don't trust. It's like that saying, if I can't see it, it ain't real, or I don't trust it. Seeing is believing, and you can't see where that journey is going to lead. So they're having this issue with trusting the unknown, and it's triggering them because they have to know. It's like this, I'm sensing real strong control issues. They have to be in control of their life. So then we have the Page of Materials. The Page of Materials tells me that they have this need to plan and shape their world. They need to make sure, that everything falls in line. Everything happens in, the way they've planned it, instead of co-creating and manifesting. This person's need for money is like this illusion of physical belongings, physically belonging, and this need to have physical possessions gives them worth. Then we have awakening. Awakening, this has to do with facing the music. I love that description of this card. It's so beautiful. This is like one of my favorite cards. It is absolutely beautiful. Because the key to this person's awakening, is to dish out compassion and forgiveness for themselves and for other people, these grudges they've held on too long. But mostly I feel like your person judges themselves too harshly. They're their own worst critic. And they'll be the first one to point out their flaws to you, or feel self-pity, unworthiness. And then now let's look how these fears, these triggers manifest. So we have 8 of Rage, muzzled. I keep on pausing because I feel like I'm going to sneeze. And then I'll pause and I don't sneeze. So if I sneeze, just know I was trying to avoid it recording. And then we have the Lover's, carnal thirst. Villain of Rage, on the edge. And 6 of Sorrow, lost in time. So, their fears and triggers may manifest as this inability to communicate, and quite possibly not being able to share their truth, their ideas, not being able to get their point across, especially when it comes to someone who opposes them. They quite possibly just want to avoid any kind of confrontation, because they're just not willing. It manifests as not being able to communicate. We also have carnal thirst. So the Lovers, so that tells me that, quite possibly they may communicate affection, for example, through sex or passion. And then, of course, we have on the edge, which again, to me, is this passion. It's just this burning ember of it's like they get on you and they just won't get off, right? Not in an aggressive, angry type of way, but they're expressing anger through passion and sex, and just being aggressively like rammy, or just coming at you full force. So they're not communicating with their words, they're more communicating through sex. We have lost in time. And it's this strong sense of feeling like this connection is lost to them, that they've already lost that connection, like they can't, as far as manifesting it into 3D reality, like they don't know how that's going to happen. They feel like it's just lost to them due to the choices they've already made in their life, that it led them to this point of realization that they can't have you, that you're lost to them, you're out of their reach, that they wish things could have been different. And that's the trigger manifesting in them. That's how they're expressing it, showing it. So once they heal these triggers, let's look and see what that's going to look like. So we have cooperation. So I love this card because it's like, you're going to blow that dandelion and make wishes, right? They're going to understand that you're trying to make wishes with them. They're going to be able to see that from the bigger picture. They're going to be able to understand that you can make your dreams come true with or without each other. The dreams they have for themselves, the dreams they have for this connection, the dreams they have for you. Y'all can cooperate, and they'll be able to speak their truth. You can speak your truth, and y'all can come into this understanding on how to make these dreams a reality. Then we have money attracts to me freely. Once they release that need for physical possessions and status and value, they'll realize they don't have to have all that to be able to move forward, because that just comes to them naturally. It just comes to them. It flows freely to them. So I hope this helped. I appreciate you so much for watching. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you do so. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye-bye.